U.S. stocks rose and commodities rallied in today's trading, mostly because of optimism that central banks around the world are going to step in and support their economies. For a look at today's holiday trading session, let's go to Courtney Donohoe, who's live at the New York Stock Exchange. Courtney?
Pimm stocks end the day little change, but the Dow still above the 11,000 mark. It was even lighter than normal when it comes to volume because of Columbus Day. Bond market was closed for the day. But I do have to tell you, there was a street fair going on right outside the exchange on Broadway, and it was really hard to pass by the sausage and pepper stand to come here to work. But focusing back on stocks, the reason we saw a little bit of support, traders are betting that the Fed's going to jump in, give another kickstart to the economy. Next Fed meeting coming up in early November, and some investors expecting the central bank will announce it will expand its bond buying program. But many looking ahead to some major economic and earnings reports this week. We got the Fed minutes tomorrow. Later in the week, retail sales, consumer confidence, and inflation data. Earnings season moves into full swing, too, with companies like J.P. Morgan, Google, and GE all reporting this week, Pimm.
All right, now, Courtney, lots of focus on foreign exchange right now. The battle over currencies taking center stage at the International Monetary Fund meetings in Washington, D.C. this weekend.
Well, the world's financial leaders failing to reach an agreement on how to deal with all the continuing currency conflicts. Leaders from the developed world pressuring China over the undervalued yuan. China pushing back. More and more economies, they're taking steps to bring on more growth, so they've been weakening their currencies. We saw this with Japan last week. Now, the finance ministers pledging to improve cooperation, but they did little show how they were going to change their ways. They agreed only to let the IMF study the matter, so now the battle heads to South Korea, and the topic was deferred until the leaders of the G20 meet there in November. But even though we did see the dollar gain today, BNY saying we're going to continue to see a dollar decline this week because currency pressures will intensify due to that failed agreement, Pimm.
Now, Courtney, the holidays, yes, Thanksgiving as well as the end-of-year holidays are going to be here before we know it. So how much are consumers expected to spend this holiday shopping season?
Well, Consumer Edge Research, they surveyed 2,500 people in the U.S. and consumers. They've been cutting back on their spending. They're worried about their jobs. But from their research, shoppers are going to spend as much on the holidays this year as they did last year. But they said that they were going to be increasing their shopping at those discount retailers.
All right. Thank you very much. Courtney Donohoe reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.